rather than having a more strategic approach based on proper research.
Questions and comments? Questions et commentaires. L'honorable député.
The Honourable Member for Kitchener Centre.
Merci.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Elements of the member for Elmwood-Transcona's speech that I really appreciated is being honest about the decades of underinvestment in social housing that has contributed to the crisis that we're seeing now across the country. I wonder if the member could speak to how important it is. If we were even double our social housing stock, we'd still be just the middle of the pack in the G7. Can you speak about how CMHC, for example, could get back into the business of building affordable housing across the country?
The Honourable Member for Elmwood-Transcona.
When I was first elected, one of the things I did here in Elmwood-Transcona was bring together a group of organizations in the riding that that had an interest in the housing question, because there was a lot of talk then of a new national housing strategy, and I thought, we should be ready here in Elmwood-Transcona for when the strategy hits the ground. And in that effort, I spoke to some folks that used to work for the federal government and the provincial government kind of prior to the cancellation of the national housing policy by the Liberals in the 1990s. And one of the things that they said was that there was because the offer every year for funding was reliable, you could plan. You could say, look, we don't have the capital right now, but they could access funding to create a plan to scout out some of the land that they might be able to acquire, to have a budget, and to, over the course of 6 or 7 years, deliver a project in a community. And because we, for so long, haven't had that, and even some of the offerings in the National Housing Strategy, I would point to the co-investment fund. That fund got depleted. Well, nobody knows when it's going to be replenished. Nobody knows when you're going to be able to make a request under that program again. And so it's very hard for nonprofits that aren't sitting on a pile of cash to be able to do the planning work to be able to deliver housing. And that's one of the ways that the cancellation of the National Housing Project strategy and the ad hoc approach since has really cost us getting affordable and social units.
Questions and comments? The Honourable Member for Timmins James Bay.
Thank you. I'd like to follow up on